I'm going to preview the 1 seed UCLA versus 3 seed LSU women's basketball game. I apologize for looking down because I cannot memorize all this stuff. It would be literally play tomorrow, March 30th at 2 p.m. Central Time on ABC. And as of right now, UCLA is favored by 5.5. And UCLA has been dominant this year. Look how many one possession wins they have. They're 33-2 on the year. Yeah, only 3 one possession wins. And both their losses were against USC when they had Juju Watkins in the regular season. After that, they won everything, including a rematch with USC in Juju Watkins in the Big Ten title game, tournament title game. So they're 33-2 on the year, 16-2 in the Big Ten, while LSU is 31-5 on the year, 12-4 in the SEC. And this will be played in Spokane, Washington. So it is a close to home court advantage for UCLA here. They're closer, though I know LSU fans will show up. I know, but you get the point. And granted, I know this is not the same LSU team as last year, but they're still good, and they're a 3 seed for a reason. Granted, they do have 8 one possession wins. They do, and they only won last game against NC State because they didn't make a single shot or turn the ball over the last 2 minutes of the game. So, what are some players to keep an eye on for UCLA? And this is not in like points per game order, but I will say UCLA is a very deep team with players above 7 points per game or more. And obviously, the first player I'm going to just go ahead and mention is Lauren Betts, and she will come back for her senior year. She's a 6'7" center. That's a junior, number 51. 20.1 points per game, 9.7 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game, 0.9 steals per game, 2.9 blocks per game, 2.7 turnovers per game, 1.8 fouls per game, 61.5% on free throws on 148 attempts. There's Angela Dugalik, number 32, 6'4" forward. That's a senior. 7.6 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 2.3 assists per game, 1.5 turnovers per game, 1.4 steals per game, 0.8 blocks per game, 1.9 fouls per game, 80.5% on free throws on 41 attempts, 36.4% on threes on 88 attempts. So she can shoot threes at her size, and is Gabrielle Jaquez or Jasqua Jaquez, or I would think Jaquez number 11. 6-foot guard, that's a junior, 9.6 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 2.2 assists per game, 0.9 turnovers per game, 0.6 steals per game, 1.9 fouls per game, 81% on free throws on 42 attempts. I made a 30 or threes on 81 attempts. There's London Jones for UCLA to keep an eye on. Number 3, 5'4" guard. It's a junior, 8.8 points per game, 1.8 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, 2.1 fouls per game, 80.5% on free throws on 41 attempts, 35.7% on threes on 199 attempts. There's Kiki Rice, number 1, 5'11" guard. That's a junior, 13.1 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, 5 assists per game, 2.1 turnovers per game, 1.5 steals per game, 1.5 fouls per game, 86.9% on free throws on 122 attempts, 37.5% on threes on 80 attempts. That's pretty much all the starters. That's all the starters right there for UCLA, but I'm going to go over the bench players too. And the first one I'm going to go ahead and mention is Tamia Gardner, number 30, 6'3" forward. It's a junior, 7.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, 1 turnover per game, 1.3 fouls per game, 84% on free throws on 25 attempts, 38.7% on threes on 150 attempts. So, despite her height, she can make threes. There's Elena Arnesalo, number 7, 5'10" guard. That's a freshman, 5.2 points per game, 2.3 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, 2 turnovers per game, 1.7 steals per game, 1.2 fouls per game, 79.3% on free throws on 29 attempts, 27.1% on threes on 59 attempts. There's Kendall Dudley, number 22, 6'2" forward. That's a freshman, 2 points per game, 2.4 rebounds per game, 1.4 fouls per game, 0.6 turnovers per game, 0 for 9 on threes, 3 for 14 on free throws, which is 21.4%. There's Janiyah Barker, number 0, 6'4" forward. That's a junior, 7.6 points per game, 6.1 rebounds per game, 2.3 turnovers per game, 0.6 steals per game, 0.6 blocks per game, 2.4 fouls per game. Made 2/3 on free throws on 87 attempts, 15.6% on threes on 32 attempts. So I'm pretty sure that's all the players right there I'm going to go ahead and mention, but I'm going to just look at that Richmond game real fast for UCLA. And obviously UCLA defeated Ole Miss by 14 points yesterday, and I'm not shocked. Whoever won that Baylor-Ole Miss matchup was going to lose to UCLA anyway. Just my opinion. Yeah, that's all the players I'm going to mention for UCLA. Now for LSU, what are some players to keep an eye on? The first one I'm going to have to obviously mention is Anissa Morrow. Number 24, 6'1" forward. That's a senior. 18.8 points per game, 13.7 rebounds per game, 2 turnovers per game, 2.5 steals per game, 0.6 blocks per game, 2.1 fouls per game, 73.8% on free throws on 183 attempts, 27.8% on threes on 36 attempts. Might as well mention Samaya Smith next to go in that order. Number 5, 6'2" forward. That's a sophomore. 6.6 points per game, 6.3 rebounds per game, 0.9 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, 1.4 blocks per game, 2.2 fouls per game. 68.8% on free throws on 64 attempts. There's no threes attempted. There's Michaela Williams, number 12. 6-foot guard is a sophomore, 17.5 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game, 3.4 assists per game, 2.6 turnovers per game, 1.1 steals per game, 2.1 fouls per game, 85.6% on free throws on 118 attempts, 39.3% on threes on 163 attempts. So she is one of the shooters, and honestly, this last year, and I know she only played like 5 minutes last game as a starter. Number 13, 5'11" guard. That's a senior, 1.9 points per game, 1.3 turnovers per game, 1.8 fouls per game, 73.2% on free throws on 41 attempts, 4 for 20 on threes. And there's Flau'jae Johnson. How can I not mention her? Number 4, 5'10" guard. That's a junior, 18.3 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game, 2.6 turnovers per game, 1.7 steals per game, 0.9 blocks per game, 2.7 fouls per game, 80.3% on threes. On free throws on 132 attempts, 37.7% on threes on 122 attempts. And she did not have a good game last game. 3 points on 1 for 8 shooting, one 2-point shot and 1 free throw, and that's it. Now I'm going to just go over like the bench players here. And Cheyenne Day Wilson, number 50, 5'6" guard. That is a senior, 3.5 points per game, 2 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists per game, 1.8 turnovers per game, 1.2 steals per game, 2.4 fouls per game, 55.9% on free throws on 34 attempts, 20.6% on threes on 63 attempts. And this Kalen Gilbert, I'm going to just go ahead and mention. Number 16, 5'8" guard, that's a junior, 9.3 points per game, 2.8 rebounds per game, 1.5 turnovers per game, 0.8 steals per game, 1.9 fouls per game, 85.1% on free throws on 74 attempts, 35.9% on threes on 64 attempts. As obviously Miracle Shepherd, I might as well just go ahead and mention. You know she didn't play a lot last game. Number 1, 5'10" guard, that's a sophomore, 4.1 points per game, 2.4 rebounds per game, 1.1 steals per game, 2.7 turnovers per game, 1.5 fouls per game, 65.8% on free throws on 38 attempts, made half your free throws on 6 attempts. And there's Jada Richard, I might as well just go ahead and mention number 30. 5'7" guard, that's a freshman, 2.9 points per game, 0.7 fouls per game, 73.3% on free throws on 15 attempts, 29.3% on threes on 41 attempts. There's Jersey Wolfenbarger, number 8, a 6'5" forward, that's a junior, 4.7 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, 0.9 turnovers per game, 0.6 steals per game, 0.7 blocks per game, 1.6 fouls per game, 56.5% on free throws on 62 attempts, and that's pretty much all the players that played last game for LSU, though I might as well just mention Aleo Del Rosario in case she does play. Well, with Lauren Betts from UCLA, they might play her a little bit more, but we'll see. And her number is 23, a 6'6" center, that's a sophomore, 2.1 points per game, 2.1 rebounds per game, 1.4 fouls per game, 48.5% on free throws on 33 attempts. And UCLA women's basketball has never gone to the Final Four ever in their history. When you look at it, and honestly, LSU's been to the Final Four 6 times. And the last time they went to a Final Four, they won a national title. But I honestly think this team is not as good as a national title team. And I do think, in a way, that the national title team had a little assistance to get there, to win it all. But that's besides the point here. So across the board, you got to limit your foul trouble. Well, getting them in foul trouble, especially the better players and all this. And the officiating may be questionable for this game, but you got to get through it and be more mentally tougher team. You don't obviously want like technical fouls or flagrant fouls, anything like that. You got to keep your cool throughout the game. You got to make adjustments on the fly, not just from first half to second half, but during the quarters as well, and timeout to timeout. You got to out-hustle the other team, and do this for your seniors. Because this is potentially their last game, and you don't want to end their last game with a loss. And honestly, if you're in women's college basketball, if you're a junior, you could technically declare for the WNBA draft if you're old enough. So if there's a case of that, you got to do that for them too. And all this. You got to adjust to your officiating as well. I mean, it's just telling the truth. Now, on defense, you got to contain the shooters, contain slashers, and try to make the best players not effective in this game as much as possible. You got to limit the points in the paint. You got to. Of course, 3-point line, you got for contain those shooters. You got to limit the fast break points and the points out turnovers and the second chance point to get some defensive rebounds, because that does impact the game how you potentially win, and you don't want to let them live at the free throw line either. So yeah, that's all the keys there, and obviously across the board too. You gotta be good in late game situations, both offense and defense, and don't turn the ball over on offense. And you gotta create some turnovers on defense. You got to. And sometimes your best offense comes from your defense, which leads me to my point. Get some fast break points, points on turnovers, of course, points on the paint. And if you can make some threes, that'll really be helpful, especially for somebody in close inside. And all this. Have good shot selection. You can't turn the ball over so much late down the stretch of games. Look at that Maryland game. Look at that NC State game. Yeah, seriously, that hurt them some. It did, and you gotta make your free throws count, because that does impact whether or not you're gonna win or lose. You gotta get some rebounds and get some second chance points too. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. And one thing I'm gonna say is for sure, you'll be a fool to think UCLA is not thinking about revenge from last year's Sweet 16 game, when they lost. What am I talking about exactly? Yeah, a year ago, they did lose. UCLA did lose to LSU. And it was it was a 2-3 matchup. It was. And the final score was 78-69. So yeah, I fully expect UCLA to come out with vengeance. After all, they lost to him a year ago. And honestly, I know LSU knows that they want revenge. I would think so. Because if they don't, watch out. And UCLA they were a different team last year. And I know the same thing goes for LSU in a way. But as you could tell, UCLA improved themselves from from like last year's seeding to this one. I mean, LSU a year ago, was a 3 seed, and they still beat UCLA as a 2. And the last time it was in Albany, New York. And I get UCLA is 0-3 against LSU in the series, but at some point they're going to win their first game. It's more like, when is it going to happen? So anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. See you guys later on the road to 800 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 or more. So my monitor this course, like video, comment video really helps YouTube background. So more people see it. So and the video does help as well. So more people could watch. And if you're watching and not subscribe, hit subscribe button. It's free, the notification bell as well. And obviously LSU wants to go make it a step further than a year ago when they lost in the Elite Eight to Iowa. But let's be clear, that was a revenge game from the year before. So yeah, Similar boat, kind of like to Iowa facing LSU year ago, and all this. Well, will UCLA do the same thing here? Yeah, UCLA last year was a 2 seed, and LSU was a 3, and they lost to them by 9 points, 78 to 69. That's all I gotta say about this game.